This is a very talented tight end group in the 2025 draft class, and Colston Loveland still sits at the top for me. There's a lot of reasons, but let's go ahead and dive into the tape and talk about why. And no, he's not going to be the most impactful blocker in the world, but I think he can more than get the job done. And I've seen people talk about how, well, he's not an inline blocker. I don't think he can do that. Well, Michigan uses all their tight ends in line as well. And this, again, getting the job done for a tight end his size, 6'5", about 245 pounds. He's got more weight that he can add onto his frame as well. He's a little bit slender for a tall guy at that 6'5". So I think that he can definitely put some of that weight on. But what I like about this is more about the energy, the effort, and the impact that he has as a blocker. So right there, get off, look at the pad level. We've got, again, good get off here, good, a little bit out over his skis, just a tad. You don't want, obviously, to be lunging too much. You're going to see NFL defenders, swim over, pull you through. But right here, gets underneath, hands up, push through, right? What you want to see, maybe continue to work that outside, right? Get onto that outside shoulder and keep driving to the inside, and then allow those pullers to come through and around. But regardless, right there, this is exactly what you want to have on a pulling play, to give your running back an opportunity to get to the outside. They don't really get there because Michigan is a run-first team, and let's be honest, I love Kalem Mullings, but he's not the fastest guy in the world. So overall, from this inline blocking perspective on this counter play, I like to see it. He's still got that technique, the effort, decent technique, and then they will move him around a ton. As you guys know, he plays in the slot a lot. He's a big slot matchup problem, but from a blocking perspective, I like what he does. Again, he can block down, get the ball into a bunch of different areas, and again, you're just creating a lane for that ball carrier. Again, doing a very good job with the effort and trying to get that done. So blocking down from different angles. And we know that tight ends in the NFL get moved around a ton. He's, again, just getting in the way, and not just getting in the way, but actually blocking, doing his job. So you've got split zone, you have pulling action, all these different things to create better angles for tight ends that maybe don't have the requisite functional strength and anchor to always be in the right position and be doing a really good job. But again, right here, coming off that edge, blocking the defensive end, doing a really good job of staying on the outside there from the slot position. So we got inline blocking, got slot blocking, and then the real question is going to be, can he be an on-the-field, every single down kind of player? I do think, like I mentioned, there's room for him to add more weight. He's got the frame to be able to do so and not lose it, but really it's just the technique, right? Are your hips underneath his hips? So it's not terrible pad level. You can see that his hips are not underneath where the defender's hips are, and he's got that anchor, so he can get pushed back a little bit, especially in short yardage and goal line situations. Just got to be able to match that anchor a little bit better, get that better pad level, keep your arms underneath. Again, arms are really fine located. He does a good job of keeping them in the chest area, but you got to get those hips down underneath so you can lift a little bit and drive and then get that anchor down. So all in all, I think he's a fine blocker. I'm not here saying he's the best blocker in the world, but he's got more than enough tools, hand location, technique, and being able to block in a variety of different ways with the inline usage that we see at Michigan to be able to be successful. He's a very good, nuanced route runner, very smooth mover, something we've known about Colston Loveland ever since, a few years ago where he came out. Look at this little return route he pulls where he comes, dips his shoulders down, sinks the hips down. This is what I love to see. A little bit of a return route to the inside, makes that overhang defender here believe he's coming in. Look at the hip sink, and he just pivots right out to it. Really nice fluid mover. And I like that he's able to sell with a little bit of intention too, right? He gives that little bit of an inside head nod fake where he's going downhill, sinks the hips, get his shoulders down, and then he breaks out of it. So very smooth mover. We've seen him do this countless times. He's been battling some injuries this season, but over the past month playing against Michigan State, Oregon, he's really showcased what he is still when he's out there on the field. And the details, right, the nuance, the details in the route running are what is going to continue to create open spaces for you. Over the middle of the field, we're seeing lots and lots of over routes from these big tight ends. So how are you going to continue to make it difficult for those defenders that know where you're going? You're going to sell vertically. So right there, head down. That was another big thing, right? Head down arms pump fake like you're going to go full vertical through here to the end zone. Keep making that defender think that you're going to go that way. Then you're going to break out here to the middle of the field. Right there. Puts the foot in the dirt, breaks outward, and then you have to recover as a defender. And that's one of those always be selling, right? You'll always be selling something. He's going to sell a vertical, makes that defender think he's going up the field, and then he almost scores on this play too. Just his knee touches down right there before he goes and almost scores. But that awareness, right, to think that maybe my knee didn't touch to get back in the end zone, that's all stuff that we see all the time in the NFL, guys who get torn down like this. Good hands over the middle of the field, protects that football, and then he's up trying to get into the end zone. So, excuse me, just a big physical player that has a lot of nuance, smooth moving to his game with that big frame. Again, I think he can put more weight on as well. Excuse me, really impact what he does from that route running perspective and then still be a big physical force. So I think he plays with a lot of that possibility. And when we see the more dig routes from him over the middle of the field, what I like about the post route running, right? What I mean by post route is you have your route initially. So he's just running a dig, middle of the field. Quarterback's going to get outside the pocket. So when he breaks to the middle of the field, once again, good job, head down, outside detail a little bit, and then he's rounding to the middle where he's open once again, sees the quarterback is now out of the pocket. All right, so I'm going to reverse, go this way. And when he does that, again, sinks hips, turns around, makes that defender fall down because he moves so quickly and gets it back that direction. So now we've seen a clip of him with that pivot route. We saw the dig over the middle of the field where he's just kind of showcasing you those details. Some more details this time. This last one was more to the outside, right? Where he's detailing this route this way. Then he's going to go to the middle and then backpedal because he sees quarterback getting outside of the pocket there. Always be available to your quarterback. Find different ways to sell. Find different ways to get open, whether it's returning back to the ball, coming back to it, or reversing field when you know that he's in trouble. And those are all things that Colston Loveland continues to provide every offense that he's played in at Michigan. And one of the most underrated, in my opinion, things about route running or being a receiver in general is being able to navigate traffic. So here you've got a stack formation with Colston Loveland still technically, quote unquote, in line, hand in the dirt. He is going to come across the middle of the field just on a shallow crosser, but he's got multiple defenders that are going to be in his way. How are you getting open? So right there, body language. So he's got a little bit of inside tilt right here. Body language is up, right? So he does a nice job, again, putting his shoulders underneath, getting out, and then when you see number 55 in his way, he goes back to the outside, navigating traffic, being available for your quarterback. These are all things that he does at a top-tier level. So he already has all those different qualities you want from a big, physical, route-running tight end, and also that smooth moving ability, because this translates not just to traffic right here, but to yards after the catch, which we've seen him, again, think back to last year when they won the national championship, and you had J.J. McCarthy as the quarterback. We saw him be given the football in a ton of different ways. So he has the yards after the catch stuff. He translates all that, and then the being able to move through traffic. All of that translates to being able to be a guy that has the ball in his hands. They do quick screens. They'll do little jet sweeps with him. They'll do whatever they want to get him the football. And it's usually a good decision. And then on top of all of it, the route running, the nuance, the smooth moving, he does have very good ball skills here. Just an out route, a really nice timed jump here, getting that football away from his body, and he lands out of bounds, but he gets a knee down. He gets a foot down and a knee down. So here, again, navigating traffic, push the guy off, get upfield, right? And just a little bit of detail outside, and he's going to go to the out right here. And this is where you like to see that the ball skills, right? Hands away, up and away, and he's getting hit right now. That knee comes down in bounds, and he's able to make a big catch on the sideline, move the chains for a first down on third down. Big trusted player. So he knows all the different routes in the book. He has a lot of different tools at his disposal with the yards after catch. And then he can also do this. He can go dunk on you, still get his feet and knee in bounds to be able to make a big play like this. So I know that Michigan has not had a very good season offensively. And when you have 4 different quarterbacks playing at one different time, sometimes it doesn't always work out. But Colston Loveland has been dealing with his injuries. He is still my tight end 1 in this class. I think that what we're seeing from him when he's on the field, what we have in the bank already is more than enough to still be very, very high on him. He does have some challengers with Harold Fannin Jr., Tyler Warren being right there on his tail. There's a couple other players, tight ends, really talented tight end class. So Colston Loveland can do all of it. I'm not super worried about the blocking stuff. We've seen Dalton Kincaid and Sam Laporta in recent years. Honestly, even Brock Bowers come in, be drafted very high because of what they provide as pass catchers, and learning more about getting them on the move and getting blocks and being like that. So he has a lot of experience in line already playing at Michigan. So I'm not super worried about that. That's why he is still my tight end one in this class. So I hope you guys enjoyed this breakdown. Again, if you guys want to have any more, you guys can always ask me questions in the draft prospects area on the Discord, as well as on Twitter at InArmsWay19. Again, hope you guys enjoyed this one. We'll have more as the season unfolds. We are getting very, very close to the Senior Bowl, and I can't wait to see how many of those guys we get eyes on before the time comes. So have a great day, everybody, and I'll see you next time.